Hi, I'm Phil from Driftworks and this is Jay. Welcome back to another episode of the V10 M3 rebuild. So first one on this car, 2021. As you may have seen if you watched a couple of the previous videos, the Lamborghini's kind of overruling everything work-wise at the moment. We've got loads to do on that, and it's keeping us very, very busy. So, had an idea that will hopefully allow us to progress quite quickly, or more quickly, with the 10:1 manifold thing, and that's assembling the car as best as possible to rescan. So that the company Celerotech, who are going to take over now to design it, can get an accurate drawing and design made up. To do that, we need to assemble as much of the car as possible, slightly more than we did before. One of those things that we need to put in is radiators. And these have been sitting here.
Probably about 6 months.
On the shelf for, yeah, is it 6 months?
It's got to be the summer.
Yeah. They are made by Andy from Icefab. Who did a very, very quick turnaround on a custom design pair of side radiators and central radiator, which we did all the calculations on. Should, hopefully, give us enough cooling to keep the car cool. Surprisingly. Yeah, obviously the car before had a standard S85 V10 radiator and the fan in it, and that pulls some serious air. But what we wanted to do with this is give ourselves a lot of clearance for the collector for the 10:1 and still hopefully retain sort of enough airflow and cooling. So what we're doing today is pushing Levitin round to Dynotorque.
And making it Craig's problem.
And yeah, basically.
Simply just fit these, Craig.
So yeah, I was last week I was thinking, we're so busy on the Lambo, we're not going to have the chance to do it. So Craig, can you just? First or second one of the year, can you just?
We've done a few.
Okay, first one on video, can you just, you're going to see. So yeah, we're just going to push this round. We're probably going to give it a quick blast off because all the building work we've been doing in here has created a little bit of foam dust. It's not harmful, but we definitely don't want it on that posh new paint. So give it a blast off, get it round to Craig's, and he will start fabricating brackets and having a look at the pipe work required to fit these. Quite a lot of radiator when you look at it lined up like that.
It was the same surface area, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was slightly more, yeah.
Yeah, than the M5 one. So.
Really cross fingers it works.
Yeah.
Careful now. Careful now. Careful now. It's terrifying. So on the side bits, yeah?
Now I'm just looking at
that top bit. What magazine?
I watched him do it.
3 times.
That's it. There we go. One.
On the opposite end of the music spectrum than S Club 7. But I would love to think.
Oh, it's touch the paint. Don't touch the paint. You just told me, don't touch the paint.
This has been under a protective rubber, it hasn't got any dust on it.
Right.
I'm not sure that's entirely popped in, but
It seems like this side.
yeah.
It's level. Well, the wing position is correct. This bit here. Yeah, this is the right side now.
Sweet. No fear. So it's been a while since this has been in here.
A long years, in fact, isn't it? Because it's been next door.
Did we do all of the... No, we did some of the floor stuff around here, didn't we? You did the welding for the plates around here for the subframe, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we did,
So yeah, but that's still knocking on for maybe a year ago, maybe slightly less than that. So yeah, we're now back in the building. We've got the V10 M3 here, and we're working on these radiators. We just wanted to do a little bit of test fitting and working out before we did a video, just because we didn't want to look like total idiots if it didn't fit.
I mean, they didn't look like they were going to fit, to be fair. I was a bit sceptical.
But in fairness, Andy from Icefab did some really accurate measurements on these. These side ones are the ones that we're really worried about. But the measurements that he's made worked out really well. We've had to cut away a bit of the support here. There's one headlight bolt here that we're going to have to sort something with. We've had to take away some of the plastic of the support behind the bumper, the thing that actually like clicks into the car. We haven't had to take any of the actual bumper bracket itself. We've had to take a little bit of the carbon Kevlar, you see
Cross
here,
support,
the cross support, just the very end here.
I mean, that's the
just for
important
clearance.
bit, really. That amount is really important. So.
Yeah, so we've not had to take a single bit of like actual real structure out of the car, which is brilliant. The radiator is sitting kind of wonky at the moment because we've still got the wheel arch liner bracket in here. But the most important thing that we needed to do is check the wheel clearance. So basically, as you turn, the wheel kind of goes inside the arch a bit. The camera's making it look closer than it actually is, but there's absolutely loads of room. More than happy with that. That is.
You can put some wider wheels on.
Yeah, why not? Eh? Some lower offset wheels.
More, yeah.
Get some cam-bores on it. I know you love a bit of cam-bores, don't you?
Oh yeah, just ruin it. Starkey.
So yeah, this is looking really good. Part of we've also obviously had the headlight in here just to double check where that goes, and it pretty much doesn't come any lower than the bumper, so that's superb. The other part of what we need to do once the rads are mounted and we know exactly what's going where is put some bleed points in all three of them, because on the side runs the connections are, this one goes back to the engine, and you can just see on the end here that one goes to the center radiator. So there's going to be some pipe work to work out and some brackets to weld on and some bleed nipples to weld on. We're just going to use like brake hose for the bleed system.
I think dash feed weld-ons, yeah, because trying to weld little fittings onto these now is a pain in the arse. If you get a weld-on with the proper boss, they're much easier. And it's nice, you can do it and it'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, we might even, because this whole pot, I mean, this was done bloody years and years ago. Yeah. So we might probably, that was just small fittings we had, so we'll probably do all of it in braiding. Yeah. Just to make it, may as well, aren't we?
Got to say, I'm pretty excited to be working on the V10 M3 again with you in Dynotorque.
I'm loving it. No, to be fair, it's nice to see getting a move on again, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, it's just looking absolutely superb. Everything that's been done so far has been done to such a high standard. I'm super happy with it, and long may the getting carried away continue.
We love cordless stuff.
It's amazing, isn't it? Brilliant. The modern world we live in. So yeah, as you can probably tell, we're just making clearance for the centre rad. It needs to lean back a little bit, like almost V-mounty, but without the intercooler, because it's NA for life. So yeah, just a little bit of extra clearance here. Never mind the paint. Might send Gaz an image of you just doing this now.
Never paint a car before you finish fabrication.
That's the #1 rule, isn't it?
We know the rule.
We do know the rule.
Somebody got carried away.
Somebody got a little bit excited.
Yeah.
Skip forward a day and a half.
Yeah.
And they're done. They're pretty much mounted, aren't they? So, yeah, we were waiting for these little rubber mounting things to arrive, which took, well, they just arrived today, basically. But, yeah, all in place. Nice amount of clearance. Isolated on rubber.
The wall rubber mounts on all of them, so they've got some give.
Little bit of give, but you know, barely any. Just enough to take out vibrations. Centre rads in as well, and Craig today has just been doing the bleed points. So because of how it's all made to work, probably just about see down there, all the input and outputs are on the bottom. So at the highest points we need bleed,
Bleeds here.
bleed,
And some on the end.
bleed, bleed. And those are basically going to be brake hose, just going to be -3 going up to, well, are they going to go up to here? Have we decided?
No, they're probably going to go back to, no, sorry, they will. They'll probably come up to here, up to the bleed points here. And then this is the thermostat house in there, which sits on here.
And we've actually decided we're going to put a fill point in there somewhere.
Because that's the highest point.
Yeah.
We're going to have to run it as like a reservoir system rather than a header tank, just purely on space.
Well, also visually, because I want it to look tidy and I don't want anything in the engine bay ideally. So yeah, we're going to hide something underneath the wing when we're feeling brave enough to remove one of these painted wings.
When Gas removes the wing.
Well, that's what I'm probably going to do, is wait till Gaz next turns up. So yeah, a bit of work to do here. We're actually going to mess around with Vanos lines as well, purely for clearance for the manifolds, for the manifold design, because Hack Engineering have built us these lovely braided lines, but we figured what we could actually do is bring it closer down to the bottom there.
Well, that's the main banjo out. There's no need to have this pipe here. We could come down, straight down to here, and leave us a bit more space around the top here.
Yeah. And we've got a bit more work to do with, we've got to make sure the bleed points are correct, but we've also got to obviously have belts on and wiring and everything like that before we start doing the scan for the manifolds.
And heater hoses next.
And heater hoses, yeah. So the plan is to chop these down and have -16 fittings, but we're probably going to do that. We're going to do that after the headers. After the
I think I'm going to cut them and do them now, or just take them off and they can start up and do them when the fittings come.
Yeah.
So we've got a water pipe at the back.
Oh yeah, because we've got the funny valve thing as well.
Luckily, it's only a two-way one on this model.
Which I'm not sure was the original one on the S85, because I remember messing about with this to get the heater working before 10 years ago.
It's the V46 one we need, rather than the engine. So some of these are some have 3 ports on, like the M5 for instance, has got 3 ports on the head. On the car. So they're all very different. Some are just a switch over valve, some are a pump. Yeah. But that needs to go back on, so I've got to find space.
Find a hole for it, and as with everything, we're just trying to make sure that everything's packed away as tightly as possible to give us the absolute best chance of clearance for the scan primarily, and then the runners for the manifolds. So yeah, you're going to run through the V, you say?
Well, we were looking at maybe this one that comes down here. We could run it down the top of it, down here.
Yeah, it just comes out here, which we've already shortened that. Oh no, did we?
I think I have modified that already. Yeah. It could come. The pipe could run down here in an aluminium pipe, so it's not too susceptible to heat. Or we can bring it up and run it through the valley.
Yeah, and just for clearance, because I know that where the original scans were, the original designs were for these runners, it was very tight down there. So we're probably better off just giving ourselves the best chance.
I could tuck it right into there, but it's only 16 mil, so it's not massive.
Maybe that'll be fine then.
I'll get a bit of pipe and lay in there and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
The back one, we're hopefully going to put the valve, because the ABS isn't going here now, that's going over there.
Delete J's lovely pipes that
so I think we can put the valve up in here. I don't think there's anything else going in there, is there?
No, we've got to do a final build on all the wiring on the engine and everything. But yeah, other than the heater hoses which go there, and there's still the bucket for the air filter, for the filters for the climate control. Is it? Is that where it sucks through? Yeah,
the plenum. Yeah. That's on the probes.
Oh, nice. Great.
So yeah, we've got the intake plenum to go in and work around that. So hopefully, if I can get the water hoses done now. and then order all the pipe work and the fittings. We're not going to do the water pipes yet because I think we've just got to work that.
Yeah, we can kind of route them around the exhaust, haven't we? And equally, we haven't done the bracket for the centre radiator yet because we're probably going to have a splitter on the bottom of the bumper. We might build both of those into the same thing there, and this is just a simulation of what the pipes are going to do. So that's going to be normal rubber pipe, and then the other side of it is these -16 hoses. Which the radius on those is pretty massive, isn't it? When you look at the size of that. That's why we feel like we really need to be quite careful with where we send stuff, and probably wait until the exhaust design is done, but obviously keeping that in mind that we do need enough room for those. So yeah, mad progress. It's looking really good. So a couple of days later, and we have
a big box of
expensive stuff. Although I say expensive, but they're from Tom at Advocate Motorsport, and they actually seem like really nice bits.
Yeah,
and they're well priced.
There's 2 or 3 different types of fittings. Some have got like a little cutter ring in there that you put together now. But these, you just push the pipe in up to the lip, push that on, and it forces it in as it goes on.
So it's easier to assemble, basically.
Really easy.
On the bigger fittings, I remember on the S15 back in the day, almost giving up.
I mean, I've just used some. I've got some random old fittings. I've just actually put some of the old ones together for mine, and it's like you forget how much of a faff they are.
Yeah. So I got all the weld-on stuff and all the. You got the little. Got the little fittings for
-3 and all this stuff for the water pipe and.
Yeah. So yeah, they're all on now. The bleed points.
Yeah.
As high as they can be, and TIG welded into place.
And then we're all going to come back up and into here and linked into here. And we're going to put a fill cap on here and.
Yeah.
But my question is now, we've got to get these through. So on the V10, it's like 2 separate engines almost. It's like the top and bottom hose from either side that we've got to link in. But we've also got to clear a bout run, and somebody's had an exhaust come round it. Because if not, it'll be really easy. Straight down front, no problem.
Well, when has anything we've ever done that involves me been really easy?
So this stuff doesn't bend particularly nicely. I mean, you can't go much past that.
No.
So. Would you like to suggest a routing through here?
Yeah, I'm going to put the camera down, we're going to work some shit out, and then we'll come back to you. Okay, we've done some working out, and the working out that we've done basically means we're not going to bother with doing the water pipes at the moment. There's too many uncertainties about what's going to happen with the manifolds as they come over the runners. So what we'll do is just ask Celeritech to consider that we need to get these pipes in here, and then once this is all made and the merge collector's made there, we can turn these at any angle that we want to make them work, and that goes for all 4 of these ones. And the bleed pipes are really easy as well, so we'll just do that afterwards once we know where all of the exhaust runners are going to be going. What we're just having a quick look at here is the Vanos line, which is a super high pressure line. It runs at, I think it was 1,000 psi, was it?
It's about, I think it's 1,000 psi nominal pressure, so it's quite high. So we've gone with, these are slightly different fitting. These are a Teflon line. A bit like if you build brake pipes, you'd be more used to these.
Yeah.
It has like an olive. Rather than it having like a rubber nitrile lining, it's, maybe just put that bit of pipe.
We're using it to mock up that now.
Yeah, basically it's the Teflon pipe, so that I think this has got burst pressure of like
3,000, was it?
I think it's 3,000 working and 4,000 burst, which is very, very high.
More than up to the job for this. Obviously, heat's a little bit of a factor, but we've just been having a little play with routing, and that's going to go from the fit in here, which has got a T-piece. We're going to 45 up over here to this one, and then we're going to 45 up, come underneath thermostat housing, up and around here, and then end up somewhere like that. And we should be able to keep it nice and snug against everything here, so nothing's in the way of the exhaust.
Because if you look at the original one,
it
works
right in the way, and it's
just it doesn't need to be like that. So if so if we can make it a little bit neater, then why not really?
Definitely.
We're going to put a alter the bleed system so we've got a fill point here with an expansion box. This is pretty much the highest point on the car now.
Yeah, again, we won't do that until the headers are done, or the manifolds are done rather.
Even getting that clocked around to get the orientation right, it might be we have to go that way or that way, and
yeah,
it seems silly to do it now.
We could extend it and we can put it in a nice place visually if we need to.
Yeah, it might be we want to do that with it, I don't know.
Yeah.
In a couple of degrees here on the fitting, if like when we weld these fittings on, you know, if we need to gain like 2 or 3 degrees,
big, aren't they? Yeah, it's going to help a lot.
We're just going to do it twice, so.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to leave that until the exhaust side of things are done, but we're pretty much ready for scan. We've just got to fit the wiring loom. We're going to do the, I think called photogrammetry, scan it ourselves, see how we get on with that. But yeah, that's probably it for this episode, and we'll keep you up to date with the exhaust manifold. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
At Driftworks, we've helped over 50,000 happy customers since 2004. Our huge online parts store is simple to use, with superb shipping rates to anywhere in the world, and finance options available for UK customers. We live and breathe wheel fitment, so if you have any questions about your own car or any of our products before placing an order, please drop us an email at shop@driftworks.com or give us a call. Thanks for watching.